Spoilers and Fandom is like a book club for geeky stuff. Join us as we delve into the depths of our backlogs and sift through the games, comics, shows, movies, and books that we haven't checked out yet. Hey everyone, welcome to Spoilers and Fandom. I'm Hellsknight.
I'm Hillary.
And today we're talking about the spoiler-free edition of The Green Knight.
The Green Knight, yes.
Yeah, which is a movie I picked.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is a movie. Have you been watching anything else though?
Movies.
Mm-hmm.
I watched The Batman recently.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, let's say the only other movie that I've seen of note would be, I think it's a DreamWorks or a Pixar animation called Luca.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't watched Luca yet.
Try it. I think you'd like it.
It is somewhere on my list, but I'm very behind with movies.
But that one, it feels, yeah, between The Batman and Luca, I'd recommend Luca.
Mm-hmm.
Because The Batman is something that we've seen a million times and hype, you're going to watch it because of hype anyway.
What, Batman?
Yeah. You'll watch it eventually.
Maybe.
Yeah. But like Luca is, it feels like it could be a Saturday morning cartoon.
Okay.
Drawn out to the length of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But with the same feel-good vibe. Imagine like a kid's cartoon.
Okay.
Yeah. About monsters and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's not very deep, not very serious, not very scary, but it's cool. It's a nice movie.
Okay.
Have you been seeing anything?
Yeah. I watched a movie called The Guilty.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite good. It's on Netflix. It might be a bit on the nose because it's to do with police stuff, I guess, that it may have been happening at the time. I don't know. I'm not living in America, so
Is it
not really sure.
Based on true events?
I believe so.
Oh, okay.
But it all revolves around a 911 operator.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't spoil anything, but it's done really well. It's similar to like stuff like Phone Booth. And it's shot with a really low budget with really good acting.
Okay.
Really good acting. I think that's worth your time. Other than that, Green Knight, and I think that's it for movies that I've watched. I'm very bad with movies.
No, because also I guess for us, we're having now a long weekend. We're right in the middle of a stint of long weekends.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe now is when we'll get time to catch up with a bunch of movies.
Oh, I watched a kids movie.
Uh-huh.
And when I say kids movie, I mean like under 5 years old movie.
Uh-huh.
Called The Octonauts and the Ring of Fire. If you watch things like Paw Patrol and PJ Masks and those kinds of shows,
Uh-huh.
The Octonauts is one of those things as well.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of characters who do stuff underwater, hence the name Octonauts.
Any of them octopuses? Octopi?
One's a squid.
Okay.
Their ship looks like an octopus. It's called the Octopod. The captain's a polar bear. Yeah, it's a baby show.
It's okay.
It's a baby.
Cool.
It's a baby movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it's decent if you're an adult watching that. It focuses, like, it's educational. It focuses around the Ring of Fire. But what impressed me with this movie is it wasn't, like, the level of writing that they have is arguably more enjoyable than the stuff that comes out of Hollywood for us. Because, like, they have aspects of, like, Deep Blue Sea in there.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. They
have, like, legit references in a kid's show.
No. Not legit references. But, like, they have, like, different things going on that are quite varied. Mm-hmm. And it's still a kid's cartoon. It's still educational.
And
it's still, let's do this together, but it's still more interesting than some of the stuff that comes out of Hollywood.
And
so
you said
if
it's
you're
called
The Octonauts and the Ring of Fire.
The Octonauts and the Ring of Fire. I'll try. I'll actually look that up.
If I would say if you have kids, watch it. Otherwise, I don't see the point. But yeah, you can try that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now on to The Green Knight.
Yes.
What made you choose this, actually?
So there's a podcast that you introduced me to called Don't Listen to This Podcast. And they're covering the Malazan books as well.
Yeah.
and it's two guys in America who kind of just riff on politics and stuff, and like whatever they riff on whatever is going on. And so they would also talk about the Malazan books. And so on one episode, they were talking about the best movies that they saw that year, the year that this came out. And they mentioned The Green Knight is really good, and it's one to watch. So I was like, okay, I added it to my list.
Okay.
And that's why I picked it.
Okay.
I'm glad I picked it. I was quite impressed. So let's...
Yeah. Did you have like any idea of, because this is like based on the story
the
of
poem, right?
Yeah, the poem and the story of like King Arthur and his knights. So this is about Sir Gawain and the Green Knight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I went into this not knowing anything about Gawain or the Green Knight. I know who King Arthur is. I know that there's a round table, but I'm not like a lore nut that's gone really into that, because there've been like 1,000 shows about Merlin and King Arthur and stuff, and they're all really different, and some of them are quite weird.
Yeah, and they all focus on, I guess, very different parts of like the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't know where to really start with that, to be honest. And yeah, Gavin, the Green Knight, these are words I've never heard before with reference to King Arthur.
Okay.
So yeah, I went into it like that.
Okay.
And yeah, the story revolves around, I need to be very careful with how I phrase this. Sir Gawain is...
I don't know how it's pronounced.
Gavin, yeah. Is, he's King Arthur's nephew.
Yes.
And he is given a task. Well, he's told to fight this. One day, this weird tree knight kind of looking dude comes in to where they are feasting on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. Was it Christmas Eve or Christmas Day?
I think it was Christmas Day.
Okay. Yeah. They're all feasting. So this guy rocks up and he challenges one of the knights to a duel. But like, regardless of what kind of wound the knight inflicts on the tree creature thing, in a year later, the person has to seek the tree creature out again at a place called the Green Chapel, and the person will
return the stroke,
return the favor, whether it's like a nick or like a death blow or whatever. He'll have to go for that. Yeah. Gavin is the one who steps up, and the story kind of progresses from there. I won't say much more without spoiling it, but that's literally the start of the story. And yeah, things happen on his journey, and it just focuses on that, really. Yeah. What did you think of that?
I liked it. I really liked it, because for me, I came from a place where I was familiar at least with the story before I watched the movie. Because as a kid, I'd read up at least on the myths and stuff like that. So at least I was familiar with this story in particular. So I just wanted to see, okay, how they're going to translate it for the screen. Sorry. So yeah, I liked the movie so far. I enjoyed how the story was told. Let me say that. Yeah, because if you know the underlying thing, if you know the underlying tale, there'll be certain things that you'll be looking out for. There's certain parts, like if you like anything, like if you've read a book or comic book, once you get the film adaptation to it, there'll be certain parts that you're looking forward to. Yeah, and I feel like this was very tastefully done also.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's artistic. It's a very artistic movie. And it's not like a one-to-one translation of this is what happened, this is how it is, this is how it ends.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like a direct rip off it's not like a direct adaptation.
It's a very good adaptation, but it's not direct.
Okay.
Let's say there's a bit of wiggle room. They take a bit of liberties, and they don't feed you everything. Let me say that. The story isn't the same through and through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I heard was like the poem is up for interpretation as well.
Yeah.
So
There's like certain bits of, okay, maybe I read a different part of it, because the parts that I know are, I'll talk about them in the spoiler section.
Okay, fine.
I'll talk about them in the spoiler section.
But you're happy with the most part?
Very, very, absolutely.
Yeah, me too. I will say that I really like the plot.
Mm-hmm.
I did watch this along with my mother and my wife.
Mm-hmm.
My wife was sleepy and fell asleep and went away.
Yeah.
My mother did not like the movie at all, and I really, I can just say it now. I really did like this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it depends on what you're looking for in a movie, because there's no hand holding in this movie, I think.
And it's also a bit of a slow burn, in the sense that even the way the movie, from beginning, the middle, and the end, there's a lot of stuff that goes unsaid and it's just shown to you. So you kind of just have to pay attention.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not a passive movie as such.
There's not so much dialogue where they'll go back to and repeat like certain story beats, or like, here's Garin and the Green Knight.
I am a good guy.
Yeah.
Here I am.
There's no advertising. There's no posturing. It's a legit story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah.
And I would go so far as to say I really miss that no hand holding. What did Erickson say? Steven Erickson had this thing of, let me not tell you what these characters are like. You develop your idea from what you see them do.
Yes.
And I like that concept in general. And I think in this movie
it works, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed that part. But again, if you are used to being handheld and spoon-fed and you're going for more passive experience,
it might not be, this movie might not necessarily work for you.
Yeah. You mentioned the slow burn.
Yes.
Could you tell me more about that? Like,
it was more, for me, I felt like the pacing of it was very deliberate. They could have made this an action movie, but they chose not to. Things were, I want to say, put in their right place. Because it's about the story of Sir Gawain becoming a hero and learning to be a hero, essentially, learning to become a knight. So it's a slow story. It's not that this guy has the same sort of background and ability as someone else like Lancelot or maybe a more capable knight. So his story begins at a very personal place for him and it grows from there.
Yeah.
So you have to, so it's not that this guy is a hero from the get-go. He gets there.
Yeah. It is quite a long movie.
How many hours was it?
I think it was like 2.5 to 3.
Yeah. 130 minutes, yeah.
Oh, 1 hour, 30 minutes?
No, 130 minutes. So it's,
okay.
2 and 10 minutes.
Yeah, okay. It didn't feel like that for me. I think for my mother it did. But again, my mother likes the hand-holding stuff.
Yeah. Wait, did you watch the entire movie in one sitting, or did you like...
One sitting.
Okay.
I sat down and I was like literally hooked. I couldn't look away. And that's partly because of the cinematography,
the
direction, the art style, like everything was done so beautifully. It's such a beautiful movie.
Yeah.
I couldn't look away. Okay, there's one part where I looked away, which is very specific, and that's because I kind of felt dizzy. I'll tell you about that in the spoiler section. They did some camera things, and I'm like, it's already a big TV. I'm sitting like right in front of it. I'm like, I need to look.
You need some space.
Far, yeah. So, but yeah, it's fantastically shot. Lots of great color work, I thought. Yeah, it was brilliant with the direction, I thought. I'd go so far as to say it's like deserving of like awards.
I don't know whether did it win. Let me check if they won any awards. because it won. Okay, nothing major. It's been nominated for a bunch. I don't think it won
Any?
like Best Picture or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's more like critics and review awards that it won. The Society of Composers and Lyricists Awards. So it won on score. On the sound.
Oh, the score.
Yeah.
Should we talk about the score?
Yeah. Well,
What did you think?
I really liked it because, again, slow burn.
Yeah.
A lot of the music is gradual. It builds up to itself and to the scene.
Yeah.
So you'll be watching something and you'll just feel, okay, let's say like it's a dramatic part.
Yeah.
You'll be on edge because the music is putting you on edge and you'll feel the entire scene together.
Yeah.
Like for me, the climax, with the sound effect, with the sounds and the score and the music and the sound effects. For me, I felt like the climax was real because I was watching this movie with headphones. I was watching it at home on the laptop.
Yeah.
So with headphones, I'm now in there. I'm him, and you hear the sounds. You're hearing the chapel. You're hearing everything around you.
Yeah.
And it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. I would say that the soundtrack is worth listening to even outside the movie.
Yes.
It's quite good.
Yeah.
I would say it's maybe something less epic than like Lord of the Rings' stuff or The Witcher stuff.
Yeah.
But it's similar in that sense of fantasy and mood.
Yeah.
I'd give
It's
it
a
that.
personal. Imagine like it's a personal fantasy story.
Yeah.
I kind of want to be because it's a very like the cast is like maybe 5 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. The listed cast isn't very big.
Yeah.
So you'll know everybody that you meet, and you'll spend time with them, and that's why you
Yeah.
feel very close to them.
Yeah.
And I even feel like certain people have even sound effects. There's certain things, certain sound cues that you hear,
Yeah.
and you remember certain people from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I would say that there's something weird with the sound in that with the dialogue, with some of the dialogue, especially from Arthur and stuff, they're kind of low volume
Yeah.
and kind of so you kind of need to pay. I don't know, that feels like it's encouraging you to pay attention
Yeah.
to what's being said, and I think that's a nice trick to a certain degree. Like, I'm not saying it's like obnoxious like Bane from like Dark Knight Returns. It's not like that.
Yeah, he's not unintelligible. You can understand what he's saying, but you just have to pay attention.
Yeah, it's more of like what he's saying is important and will fill you in on what is going on. Otherwise, you're going to float.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like that.
I have a theory about that.
Yeah.
Which is at this point in the story, I don't know whether this is because the story is about Gawain.
Yeah.
Arthur is old.
Yeah, he's old.
Yeah, so I feel like that's also part of the story, part of the thing that they're adding in.
Yeah.
You have an old king that you don't know.
Doesn't have volume.
Yeah, doesn't have volume. His story is true? Are they myth? The way he speaks to him, you don't really know. Like you get that vibe of, not unease, but there's mystery to Arthur,
Yeah.
even from just how he sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of like room for interpretation in this movie as well. Which I'll talk about in the spoiler section. So I like that aspect of it as well. But yeah, it's so like it's pretty good.
Yeah.
What else do we need to say? The acting.
Yes.
The acting I thought was dope.
Because the casting in this I felt was really, really good.
Yeah.
Because the actors in this were Dev Patel,
Yeah.
who's from Slumdog Millionaire,
Yeah, there's
Mr. Exotic Marigold, all those other movies.
uh-huh.
Alicia Vikander, she's a Bond girl. Joel Edgerton, then...
Oh yeah, she's Tomb Raider as well, isn't she?
Oh yeah, she's Tomb Raider as well, yeah. Joel Edgerton.
See, you mentioned the name and I'm like, hey, that's Tomb Raider.
Then Sarita Chowdhury, Sean Harris.
So yeah, like
It's a Brit. Okay, the casting is the UK actors mostly.
yeah, they're British actors. I think there was controversy with choosing an Indian to play Sir Gavin. I would say it kind of works actually, because of who Gavin is, and his mom also being Indian, Indian in origin, I guess.
Yeah.
They don't look overly Indian. How do I put
Not
that?
at all. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't at all act or talk or seem overly Indian.
Yeah.
It's just that they are. But like story-wise, also it kind of makes sense because they're different from everyone else there.
Yeah.
Which plays something to what the story is.
But I wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe this is just me being me, but I don't know why that would be an issue for people in the larger context.
Social justice. What are you doing? The Twitter battles that I don't pay attention to.
But for real though, like, I imagine that we've watched this movie, right?
Right.
Dev Patel is an incredible actor.
Yeah, he's really good in this movie.
I couldn't see anyone else playing this role.
Yeah.
Like in the sense
I can't imagine. Yeah.
In the sense that he did such a good job, I don't see the point of casting someone else.
Okay, you say that. Now I'm trying to think of who has the quality of like someone immature.
Yeah.
Who kind of like develops.
Yeah.
Is who I'm picturing.
Or who could play something like that. Or let me think, or let me try and phrase it slightly differently.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to cast somebody else, who do you think would improve this movie?
No, I can't. Like, the closest thing I can think of off the top of my head is like Shia LaBeouf, which I don't think he fits the story.
He doesn't fit.
But like maybe the character type, maybe, but like not really the story as such. Also, he's American. I think you would need a British sounding guy.
Or maybe now they cast two Americans, him and his mom. That's different enough.
Yeah, that would.
But now the language, the accent won't work.
Yeah. Who else could do it?
Because now for me, when I was looking at it like that, I was like, yeah, he did a great job. So there's really no reason to have an issue with the casting of him in that respect. In any case. Yeah. And if anything, let me say this: that's part of the reason why I think I enjoyed the movie. Because watching him act and get through those scenes as Gavin, he's a really good actor. Like I was behind him through and through.
You know the dude in Blood Diamond? I don't remember his name.
DiCaprio.
No, the other guy. I can't remember his name. If he was less intimidating, like less built, less pumped, and like a kid version of him, you could have him play Gavin.
Okay, wait, let me see the cast of this. Which guy?
The main guy.
The main guy was DiCaprio, yeah.
No, the black guy.
Jimon Honsu.
Sure. I don't know his name.
He's the guy from what's it called? I keep forgetting this name. Gladiator.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So like like a less physically imposing dude. Yeah. Like he looks like a badass. We need someone who's like a little weaker. So like maybe him and his younger. Or when he's like flatter or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he does have that range of being.
He's a good actor.
Yeah, he has the range of being like soft, but you know that he's doing something. You know that he's learning something.
Yeah. Somewhere. But like, I really had to reach to try and
to find
someone. He's like, that guy's not current. I would say, like, I really had to reach to find that. I think he did a good job, Dev Patel.
Yeah. So now, overall, what it's okay. I know you like the movie.
I like it a lot.
1 to 10.
For me, this was like an easy 8, almost a 9. In fact, like I feel like watching it again. So I would say 9. if I watch a movie and I really like it enough to want to watch it again, I give it a 9 for me. The reason I'm hesitant is because of the reaction I got like from my mom and even from my wife. I guess she was sleepy, and because of the slow nature of the movie, she couldn't just write it out.
Yeah.
As for my mother, you know, it's not like
It's not her type.
it's not a passive kind of movie, so it's not a perfect movie, which is why I'd hesitate. But for me personally, this was a 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because even for me, okay, I watched this movie twice.
Yeah.
Because I watched, let's say, like the first 2/3, then stopped. Then by the time, I think something came up and I was interrupted and I had to go do something. But then the second time I was coming back to watch the movie, I was watching, I tried watching it from the 2/3 going forwards, and I was like, no, let me just start it again. And I was now hooked from the beginning again. So yeah, I like it. It's a really good movie. 8, 9. Solid 8, at least a 9. I'm also giving it a 9.
What did you think of the ending without spoilers? Yeah, what did you think about the way it ended? Because I see that being an issue for some people as well. It does this thing towards the end.
Yeah.
That's kind of like a twist, I guess. Yeah, I don't know if I'd call it a twist, but it does a thing at the end.
Yeah.
That is kind of like left field for a fantasy movie, I guess. And it does it a few other times, I think.
Yeah.
But it's pretty big towards the end. And I don't know if that sits well with a lot of people. I liked it. But it's going to be subjective, I think. Yeah. Like, I see people watching that and seeing the ending and then being like, what the hell was the point? You know? And them having questions after this movie, and them not liking having questions after this movie. For me, I come out of this movie, and if I'm thinking about it after watching it, I think that's a good movie.
Exactly.
And I don't mean like the cheap thing that Inception did. Exactly. I thought that it's similar, but not quite.
Because it raised more questions.
Yeah, this for me was more fun to think about.
Yeah, and I felt it was also more realistic in the sense that it is open for interpretation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm trying to describe it without
spoiling it.
Without spoiling it.
It's hard.
Yeah, and it's a bit hard, but I feel like that ending scene. It was not foreshadowed, but we saw that effect early in the movie.
Yeah.
Maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
Early in the movie. And you'll pick up on it in the beginning. So it's now just for you to understand what it is.
Yeah.
As a device in the movie. Because it's just to describe something for you. It's just showing you this is where this guy's mind is right now.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal, in my opinion. I don't feel like it's that big of a thing that people should be thinking that, oh my gosh, this movie, it didn't explain everything to me. That's part of the charm of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I liked it. I like that bit of the ending. We'll describe this in the spoiler section. So if you're interested, please check out that part, the next episode.
Yeah.
Because we're really trying to dance around the issue.
Yeah. It's good. We definitely recommend you check this out.
Definitely.
Even if you aren't the type of person to like this, at least you watch something.
Yeah, watch something different.
Yeah.
Try it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But guaranteed it's a movie that will make you think. Yeah. If nothing about
and
the story,
beautiful.
Yeah. If nothing about the story, you'll go back and maybe read the poem or the story of Gawain and the Green Knight from the actual myth. Yeah.
Yeah. You have next pick for movie. So what are you picking?
I think we'll pick. There's a Korean movie that I want to try out called The Swordsman. It's from 2020, but it's directed, I'm going to butcher the name, but it's directed by a guy called Park Jae-hoon or something like that. Let me confirm that for a second.
What, the pronunciation?
No, the name. Because I don't know, I might just pronounce the name wrong. But yes, The Swordsman.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's The Swordsman? Check that out. Also, the show that we're going to look at next is Arcane. We're also looking at the next Malazan book. And we're reading The New Gods by Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
And the game that we're playing is Swords of Ditto.
Yes.
Yeah. So check any of those out and join us for when we discuss those. I'm Hellsknight.
I'm Hillary.
Thanks. Have fun.
Have fun.
Do you have an opinion on what we just discussed? Did we miss something? Tell us in the comments section and we'll read it in the next episode. If you're listening on Anchor, send us a voice message and we'll add it to this episode. Don't forget to follow our podcast on Twitter @SpoilFans for updates. And follow our Instagram for behind the scenes action @Spoilers and Fandom. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube and Anchor to get the latest episodes.